What's going on, Evertonians, and welcome back to Life as an Evertonian. This is a news roundup regarding some transfer rumours from yesterday in regards to strikers. Everton linked again with Gabriel Jesus, also linked with the Lazio striker. Listen, these links are going to happen. They're going to be more so when we hit international breaks. And those are obviously Everton, and we're edging towards the January transfer window. We know that it's imperative for Everton to bring in a right back and probably a striker. I think it's starting to become evident to see that Barry, he's struggling at the minute. He's not hit the ground running. He hasn't scored yet. He's not getting as many minutes as we thought. Obviously, Moyes is chopping and changing from both. And with that, obviously, he can't make his mind up who is his preferred striker. I think we have to agree it's probably Beto. He came on against Crystal Palace at the weekend and was a massive part of Everton changing the fortune and getting a really good win, partnering with and working very close with Alcaraz. And Alcaraz brings the best out of Beto. So I think, Beto, he's got that number 9 shirt. He's Everton's number one striker, let's say that. But listen, if Everton have got goals and dreams of getting into Europe, we're going to have to dip into the market and add some quality. And I'm sure Everton and the scouts, the team of Everton are doing their utmost best to try and attract someone, a striker coming in January. Imagine if we could bring someone in who could hit the ground running like Kevin Campbell did when he signed. Albeit, it weren't in January. The transfer window didn't really exist then. But we need somebody like that to come in and it could really, steer Everton up the table. We know goals are important. Goals are important right across the pitch. It is. But if your strikers are firing, it certainly helps. And let's be honest, Everton haven't really had a striker as such. I mean, Richarlison come in and did a job. He tried to reach double figures, but the likes of Romelu Lukaku just seem far away from what Everton had in a striker in him. If we had someone like that at that ilk now, Everton would be a very good side. I firmly believe that. Contracts. James Tarkowski signed a new 2-year deal yesterday. Obviously, it's 2.5 year because we're into this season now, but he's got an extended 2-year contract. Brilliant. Listen, Tarkowski has made a few mistakes this season. The lad's come back from an operation on his hamstring, an hamstring tear, a nasty injury. Yes, it's not an ACL, a cruciate, or anything like that, as bad as that. But that muscle, it needs time, it needs strengthening. And I bet he's playing where it's obviously recovered, but I bet he's brought himself back sooner. Obviously, yes, he gets the okay to play, but he's a strong lad. He really is. And, the amount of games that he's played over this last 3 years, such an integral part of, I'm going to be honest, helping Everton stay up in this league alongside Pickford in that defensive unit. Um, any player can make mistakes, you know what I mean? And obviously, it's more highlighted when you're a goalkeeper and you're a defender. It is, if someone makes a mistake up top, doesn't hold the ball well, we've seen Beto do that, and then a team counter attack and score. Of course, you're blaming Beto for it. But more so when a defender does it. Your midfielder lose the ball, then you've got your defence and Pickford to do a job. And yeah, of course you do. That lad who gives the ball away in midfield, but it's highlighted more when a defender does it. And listen, they're prone to making mistakes. John Stones did it for us. John Stones still does it when he's playing. Defenders do make mistakes, and I think Tarkowski signing a 2-year extension is brilliant. It takes a lot of pressure off us in that defensive mould. We have the likes of Jake O'Brien, who's got to be really pushing to take his spot over the next couple of years now. Being a younger version. You got Michael Keane, obviously. He looks like he's improving as he's maturing. 32, it isn't old anymore. It isn't. It really isn't. When you think back to the likes of David Weir and Richard Goff. We've always produced good, solid, older centre halves, and it shouldn't be any different. As long as you know how to read the game, yeah, obviously pace drops off as you get older, but if you know how to read the game and read those balls coming over the top, read your attacker, read the fullbacks, organising your fullbacks, you've got that intelligence. You can always be a good defender in this league, and I believe Tarkowski will be for this next 2.5 years as well. Also, rumoured that obviously negotiations are taking place with new contracts for Jimmy Gardner. For me, you've got to lock him down. Such an integral part of the squad. Does a job in centre mid, does a job at left back. I want to see if he can do a job at right back week in, week out. I think Everton would improve if we played Jimmy at right back. Yes, you lose his intelligence in midfield, but we've got players in there who can do a job. Timmy Raburam, Merlin Rowe to come in. Just Sagana Gay. I think Kieran Dewsbury Hall could play deeper, which would allow Alcaraz to push on as a number 10. So, yeah, obviously, Jimmy for me needs to get locked down. Jordan Pickford, another. Let's hope we can again lock him down long term. I think we can. And Mikalenko as well is another who I think he's very, very good, Mikalenko, defensively. And I do believe he's improving, getting up the pitch and working alongside Jack Grealish. So, Blues, that is some news circulating there. Obviously, this were all trending yesterday. Just covering on this channel here a bit of a roundup what's going on, just giving our opinion. Most channels have already done it. Obviously, the news was out yesterday. I was at a funeral yesterday, so I wasn't able to bring out the content yesterday or late last night. It got too late last night. But yeah, subscribe to the channel. Blues, if you haven't done so already, click that bell to turn on post notifications, up the toffees, and I'll see you in the next one.